Hey, good morning. It is Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. This is Wes Fryer in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is a Wisdom with Wes episode. I think it might be episode 40. And I want to talk about curating trusted voices quickly. Boy, and it's raining. I think it's like 60 degrees today. We're about to have a colder weather move in here in Charlotte tomorrow, I think. Trusted voices. This is super important. I'm in the middle of a media literacy unit with my middle school students right now. Call it Fruit Loop Conspiracy Theories. And we talk about the moon landings, among other things, and people that say they didn't happen. And we sift. We stop, investigate the source, find trusted coverage, and trace to the original. We laterally read, and we try to answer this question: how are you going to decide who to trust? It's a big question. And so one of the things that I think is super important is curating trusted voices. And what do I mean by that? I mean that in YouTube, as we subscribe to different channels, in a podcatcher, which means a podcasting listening application, okay? I use one called Pocket Casts. In fact, I'll include, some links to some things I'm referencing here in the description of this video to include the podcast subscriptions to which I subscribe, okay? There's a lot of them. And I was listening to a Cortex podcast, which I'd heard of, I think, before, but my friend Travis White, who's one of my colleagues in our middle school computer science, STEM department, we call it IDEAS, he had reminded me this really, really smart people and folks that I have grown to trust. They're talking about Apple Intelligence in this latest episode, and I think Apple has a ways to go. But I appreciate being able to listen to the ideas of some people that I trust, who are helping inform what I'm thinking I'm going to do with my money. I'm not feeling like my iPhone 13's got to be updated tomorrow. So, curating trusted voices. I have decided to host two conferences, one here in the fall and one in the spring in Charlotte, North Carolina. The first one is a podcasting conference, and I'll include a link to it. It is PodCampCLT. We live in Charlotte. The airport acronym for Charlotte is CLT, and we're going to be having an Unconference, which is an opportunity for people to gather and share, what they know. And it's going to focus in the morning on podcast listening and in the afternoon on podcast creating and sharing and amplifying. So I'm really looking forward to that, okay? And the registration's free. You can go to PodCampCLT.com. I think yesterday I saw we had like 22 people registered, which is pretty good. I just started Facebook advertising this last week. And I'm hopeful that we'll get a good number of educators and teachers, as well as just other community members, because it can really be a wonderful thing to gather together a diverse group of people with a common interest and share what you know. And that's what an unconference is. So that is happening in 20-something days. December 1st, it's on a Saturday. It's at our church, which is Caldwell Presbyterian Church in Uptown Charlotte. The second one is going to be an EdCamp. And I helped organize EdCamps in Oklahoma for over 10 years. And the EdCamp Unconference model is absolutely wonderful. So I decided to organize EdCampCLT, which you can find at edcampclt.org. And that is going to be on Saturday, February 1st, 2005. So that's, for over 3 months. So a little bit more time to prep and help people, know about that. And that location may move. I mean, not all ed camps are held at schools, but a lot of them are. We used to alternate in Oklahoma City between holding it in Oklahoma City public schools, which was our central, large school district in the heart of Oklahoma City, and then in a suburb school. And so we would alternate, back and forth. There's a lot of value in being able to go to a new place, hang out with new people, share ideas about stuff you care about. And it can, it's really amazing and wonderful that somebody can simply recommend a book to you or to me, or can say, have you listened to this podcast today on EduSky? EduSky is just blowing up in a great way. Like, I think they're getting millions of new people joining EduSky every day. And the educational community is coming together on Blue Sky under a hashtag EduSky. And I think I'm going to probably do a webinar about this. I think I may make our January meetup for the Media Ed Club for the Media Education Lab. I now facilitate monthly webinars the first Monday of each month that start at noon Eastern time, and whatever that is your local time. And I think we'll have a session in January about Blue Sky educational networking, and how to connect with others, how to curate trusted voices. This is so important. So, hey, I hope that you are curating trusted voices. If you've listened to this video or podcast, whatever, this Wisdom with Wes episode, as long as I've been talking for 5 minutes and 45 seconds, thank you. I guess, at this moment, I'm either a trusted voice or you're wondering, hey, who is this person? And is this person sharing something that I might be interested in? I have an after page, which you can find at my website, which is wesfryer.com/after. And if you visit that website, I have links to Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube, all these different places. So please work on curating your trusted voices. We are each going to have different trusted voices. And this can present, challenges when we have these, if we have and we do have like radically different perceptions of reality and different bubbles today. And this is largely driven by social media. Yeah, mainstream media still plays a role, but I think I heard Rachel Maddow call the election the podcast election. Like, I haven't read her whole article, but she wrote an article, and I did just listen to Rachel Maddow's book, Prequel. It's very, very good. It's about the anti-fascist movement in the United States, both before World War II and during World War II. So, and unfortunately, there's a bunch of parallels that we can draw from that. But what she was saying about in the article, I think, was that the Democrats and Kamala Harris really misunderstood the power of podcasts and the importance of Joe Rogan. And, I'm not a huge Joe Rogan fan, but I've listened to some of what he has to say. And there's a lot of reasons why people choose to listen to who they listen to. And some of it is about entertainment. So anyway, curating trusted voices, it's important. Last little link I'll share is that I have been curating my thoughts about this dynamic of how do we discover new ideas on a website that is a Google site. And I have a shortened link. You can go to wfryer.me/ideas, and that will forward you to the Google site for discovering good ideas that I've been, working on for years. I don't know if it's 10 years or what, but you want to hang out with smart people, and you want to hang out with people who have good ideas and with people you trust. This is important stuff. Have a great and wonderful day wherever you happen to be in space and time. Take care.